from every 10 new established e-commerce stores, have only 2 survived the first birthday. 8 out of 10 have just went bankruptcy in the first year. What we don't measure, we can't improve. We know it exactly. In maximum 2 or 3 years, if you won't be visible everywhere online, you just disappear from the business life. Maximum 2 or 3 years, as I see now.
Hey Weirdo, welcome back. Today we're getting away from the social media blame game and talking to somebody who's actually solving problems for entrepreneurs and small businesses. Today my guest is Krisztian Kiraly. He is a digital marketing strategist with over 18 years of experience, the founder of his own agency and an international partnership manager at OptiMonk. He's also hosted a business reality TV show in Hungary called Ecommerce Revolution, where he mentored struggling businesses to massive revenue growth on camera. Krisztian is on a mission to kill the boring marketing and show small and medium-sized businesses how they can compete with the big guys like Amazon. We're going to talk about how to stop focusing on getting more traffic and to start focusing on getting more with your traffic. With the traffic you already have. A concept called conversion rate optimization. And most importantly, we're going to have a look at how AI is completely changing the game, making enterprise-level tools available to everyone. Krisztian, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Cody. I'm happy to be here with you today.
I appreciate you for giving your time. Before we start into questions, I would like to ask every guest one question. What is a truth in your industry that people don't want to admit?
That people don't want to?
Admit.
Okay, that people don't want to admit. Very good question. I have to think about it very shortly. So I think I have a lot of online meetings with entrepreneurs, e-commerce store owners, and of course also with agencies. And sometimes they would like, I would say, to start at the top, which means they would like to start with the first steps regarding conversion rate optimization. But sometimes the main issue with them is that they don't need conversion rate optimization and not even AI features yet, because they don't even made, I would say, the basics for the business. They don't even made the first steps to make the baselines for the e-commerce store, which means that, for example, they didn't even know who is their ICP, ideal customer profile. When I get the answer, it's a classical question from me. Okay, who do you sell to? And if I get the answer, oh, well, for everybody. If you sell to everybody, you sell to nobody. If you don't even know who is your ideal customer, you definitely won't have success on the long term. Or for example, if you have a product market fit, do you know who are your competitors? Do you know if your pricing is correct? So these are such basic, I would say, tasks, requirements that you have to start with them and then generate traffic, then generate your first revenue to establish everything. And just after that, if you have done all of them, then you can start with conversion rate optimization. And as a next level, then you can start with AI features and so on. Because I know AI is a very hot topic and very trendy. Sorry, I know it's boring, but still you have to start with the basic tasks.
Yes, very fair. And that's something I think a lot of people miss out on is there's a base you have to build out first. You have to really understand what you're trying to do, where your focus is, and who your ideal clients are to really get in there. So to bring us back to a different topic, give the audience a little bit of your background. How did you get to be at the position you're at right now?
As I have mentioned at the beginning, I was originally a digital marketing expert for more than a decade now, and I have started my career as everybody else. I think I had my main job, and as a side hustle, I have started as a freelancer and just made some cold outbound reach. That time, I mean, for more than 10 years ago, it was something quite new, especially by us in Hungary. And so I acquired my first clients, and then I had enough clients that I could quit my job, and then I have started as a full-time entrepreneur, but of course at the beginning as a solopreneur. And then I have started to build up my digital marketing agency. And it was from the beginning a full stack digital marketing agency, because I believe regarding digital marketing in holistic approach, which means I know there are some agencies who are focusing only on PPC, only on SEO, only on email marketing, and so on. It's absolutely okay. You can definitely reach some results with it as well. But on the long run, to my experience, the biggest impact, the biggest results can you always achieve when you manage all these areas together in a synergy with a central strategy. And then in that case, you can really use it like a leverage to achieve really big results. As you have also mentioned before, for example, the best results, what we have achieved by this e-commerce revolution, this business reality show, 67% uplift in revenue after 2 months. Oh. It's definitely not possible if you are doing only, I don't know, email marketing or only running some nice PPC ads. So I believe in strategy. I believe in holistic approach. And therefore, it was also a full stack digital marketing agency, with more than 10 colleagues at that time. And after 5 or 6 years, I must admit, I was a kind of, let's say, burned out, to be very transparent and honest. And I was looking for new challenges. And so I have joined to the team of OptiMonk. OptiMonk is a B2B SaaS company, was established about 11 years ago in Hungary. And we have started, I would say, just as a normal classic pop-up tool. To be honest, nothing special. But with the time, we have discovered that it's definitely not enough to stay in this overcrowded space of e-commerce. So therefore, we have always added and developed new features, like, for example, built-in A/B testing, hyper-personalized on-site messages, and so on. And nowadays, I would say we are a very comprehensive AI-powered CRO tool for conversion rate optimization. And as you have mentioned also, I work as an international partnership manager. So I'm responsible for the international expansion. And on the other side, I'm also nurturing our relationships with our partners, with our agencies, as I have a lot of experience. What are the main challenges and pain points for the digital marketing agencies?
Your background is impressive and speaks to what people should start looking into doing, is finding something that they appreciate, they enjoy, and doing it as a side hustle to make it their main goal. I do want to touch in on a point that you said there. You said that you feel like full stack marketing is the approach that people should go towards. Being a full stack developer, I completely understand what you're talking about. Do you see full stack as really the better end of creating something? Coming from, sorry, let me back up a little bit. Being a full stack developer, I understand how understanding every aspect of the tool gives me the ability to optimize it, give it better control, to build it the proper way. Do you think full stack professions are now going to be the norm?
I would say in the future, it will be a must-have.
Okay.
Because as I see, the customer journeys are longer than ever before, because nowadays people need just some seconds, not even minutes, to gather all the informations, what they need, for example, in the purchase decision. There are tons of social media platforms outside. So that means some weeks ago, I was also invited in a very nice podcast show as well, like yours. And there we had a very interesting conversation about it, where we have mapped out that the more expensive as a product and the more complex as it is, the longer is the customer journey. I mean, some years ago, it was said that usually you need between 5 and 7 touch points to get a completely new user to be convinced that they're going to be one of your buyers, that they take a purchase by you. Nowadays, sometimes you need even 10 or 20 touch points because they are so longer customer journeys. And we didn't talk yet about the AI agents that you don't even need personally to look after the informations. You just get an AI agent, and this one is gathering all the informations. And then you can make for example, a with the help of just say perplexity, a deep research regarding a product, which one is best for you. So exactly from this reason, I think that in the near future, it will be inevitable. It will be a must-have to think about omni-channel communication. You have to be everywhere, and definitely on the whole customer journeys. And in aspect of that, you cannot just avoid to say, okay, I don't care about email marketing. Okay, I don't care about, I don't know, SEO or PPC. It will be a must-have that you can also think like your customers in complex ways.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I just did an interview yesterday with a marketing firm, and they are convinced that 2026 every leader and CEO needs to have an online presence and to be putting themselves out there as who they are, what they are. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would say that this process has already started years ago, but of course, with the help of AI, the whole process will be accelerated. And I think that in maximum 2 or 3 years, if you won't be visible everywhere online, you just disappear from the business life. Maximum 2 or 3 years, as I see now. How does it take on with all the processes and how does it work?
And that's what I saw a year ago, which is why I started this channel. I'm like, I need to be visible, and this is the best way to do it. Also, I'm kind of hoping that the internet is going to get so sophisticated that all of my recordings and information that I put into the internet right now will create a digital copy of me at some point. But that's just a sci-fi idea that I have. I'm very interested to see if Grok can recreate me one day.
And there is also a quote about it. I'm pretty sure you have heard it as well, but I love it because it's so expressive. It says that nowadays, not the big fish is eating the small fish anymore, but the fast fish, the slow fish. And it's absolutely true, I think.
It really tells people that they need to get on board with things. How do we bridge that gap? How do we get people on board with using AI?
Well, it depends on what is your actual goal with the AI, because of course it depends on your profession, it depends on your business. So first of all, I think it's very important to clarify, maybe for yourself at the beginning, what exactly do you aim with the AI? Would you like to be more efficient? Would you like to automate some progresses, or what exactly would you like to achieve? Because on the other part, if you don't do it at the beginning, I think it can be very dangerous, because it can directly go to distraction, because there are tons of information available on the internet. Every week, I think, comes out a new software or a new AI tool. As you have also mentioned in the beginning, there is now an AI tool with your name. So it's almost impossible. Let's be honest. It's almost impossible to stay up to date, to know everything about all the new tools and possibilities. So you have to filter. But you can only filter and you can only prioritize if you know what are your goals, what do you want to achieve with AI and with all the tools.
And I'm just going to plug my book here because I'm writing a book about this stuff. I will put it in a card up here so people can link to it. But in my book, I am starting to flush out how people can use AI to really identify who they are, what they are, that kind of thing. Part of my book is going to have like a whole section on how to leverage AI to really understand yourself, because AI is a mirror right now. As you put your data in there, it's just reflecting yourself back at you. So that was one learning that I think people really need to understand is AI right now is not complicated. It is you in a box. And once you understand that, you could leverage it to high hell on how to fix yourself and how to get places. And I think people are too afraid of AI right now. What do you say to people who are afraid of AI?
It's a very funny topic. I mean, for me, because I also know that some of the peoples are already afraid of it and telling, wow, and AI and the revolution of the robots are coming and they overtake the power on the earth. And what happens, I don't know, the Armageddon and so on. So why I think it's funny, because there were always phases in the history of the humankind when something big change happened, and a part of the humans were against it. Just a classical story about it. I'm pretty sure you have heard it about it as well. When the whole industrialization has begun, I don't know how many centuries ago, maybe in the 70s or 18th century. And in the first factories, they have started to set up the first machines. There was even a special name of a community. I don't remember exactly the name of them, whatever, but they were against the machines. And what did they do? They broke in the factories and just crushed these machines because they said, no, we won't have any jobs anymore. And the question is, did it really happen? No, it just changed the whole market. Okay, some jobs definitely disappeared, but new jobs has been created. And I think it's the same procedure, what's happening now in the market. Okay, of course, some jobs will just disappear because they will be not more necessary, but definitely new jobs will be created with the help of AI. So I think it's just the next level. And
I think
the next forever. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think for the next couple of years, the biggest thing will be AI enhancement. People will be able to leverage AI and just do a better job at what they're doing. It's going to be more coordination, more orchestration than actual working, but that frees you up to so much more. And this is what I like. I wouldn't be able to do this channel without AI because it does my editing, it does my posting, it does my research, it does everything for me. I wouldn't be able to leverage my life. If I had started this a year earlier, it would have been a lot more work than it is today. And I think people misunderstand let me rephrase that. I think the industry misunderstands how fast AI is coming. Because it's still not able to do things. I don't know how advanced you are, but there are times where I'm still like, hey, this is basic stuff. You should be able to do this, but it
and you have to correct it. And you are definitely not satisfied.
And I think that's where the jobs are going to go for the next couple of years. It's going to be the correction of all of this automation. And that right now is a good field to jump into. Do you agree? Like that's kind of where we're going?
Absolutely. Just one example from our own case. We are also working a lot with our built-in AI features by OptiMonk, for example, by our on-site campaigns or embedded contents or whatever. There will be contexts, pictures, product pictures, and even, for example, product descriptions generated based on the product feed with our built-in AI. But still, we cannot just launch it directly live on the website. We have one phase. We have a human team called service team by us who have to control it, every single picture, every single text, because it's still not perfect. Very close to it, I would say 80, 90%, but still it's necessary. So as you have mentioned, it definitely cannot do everything alone. Just one fun fact, because I found it very fun. It happened exactly today in the morning. There is an e-commerce store who is selling televisions. And on the pictures, a whole family is sitting on the sofa watching television. But they have the remote control in the hand, but looking not at the television, but in front of the camera. Very, very small change, but it's definitely necessary because for us, it's logical and funny. But for the AI, it was not logical that they should watch at the television, please.
Yep.
Just a new form.
Yeah. And I think people needs to play with this more to figure out what their niche is. And just to give the audience a little bit of context, I think there's going to be, in the very far future, I think there's going to be 4 fields of work. You're going to have your entertainers. Those aren't going to go away. Storytellers are people like human connection. People like stories from humans. That's never going to go away. You're going to have scientists, people just trying to explore things. You're going to have the explorers, people going out into space and exploring things and building new places all throughout the galaxy. And then you're going to have the fourth group, which I don't think people understand, are the people who are going to go into the AI. The people who are going to get either optimized and become part of the internet, or are just going to full on check out of reality and go into internet. Those are the 4 fields that I think are prominent in the future. And those are the things you should start looking into what you want to do. If you want to explore the universe, it's coming. So I want to get back into the business a little bit. How do small and medium-sized businesses compete right now?
So exactly in this topic, thank you for the question. Could be AI definitely a big leverage for the small and medium-sized businesses in comparison to the giants, to the big companies? Because nowadays you can even use by a lot of AI tools the free plans. But I mean, if you would like to take it serious, just take a paid plan for, I don't know, $40 per month. It's not a big investment. But what you can do for that, what you can achieve for that, for example, you can make a complete deep market research, for example, to explore your competitors, their marketing strategy. Some years ago, you had to pay for that a whole agency. Now you pay $40 per month for an AI tool, and it does for you in a couple of hours. And you have a 20 pages report, and you know everything about your competitors, about the marketing strategies, everything. So a lot of opportunities is nowadays possible for really, really less investment regarding energy, time, and of course money, which could give you a huge advantage to compete with the big companies.
I also want to add that the other thing you can leverage is its ability to automate. If you have things that you do all the time, every day, if you read your email every day, have it set up a task that just forwards you the important stuff. Say, hey, build me an agent that goes through my email and says, I only want to deal with these things, and it will pull in the information you need for those emails. The things you do every day no longer have to do every day. So things you want to do, figure out the things you want to do and automate the rest.
And exactly this AI tool, you don't even have to build this AI agent, because I have recently purchased one of these AI tools. I have just connected with my Gmail account, and it's fantastic because I would say in 90 or even 95% of the cases, it writes the correct response, and even in my style, as I would have written it myself, the responses. So amazing.
I want to go into your reality TV show. What was something so this is where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out the entertainment industry. How did you get into it? How did you figure out how to create a TV show?
Okay, so this was shortly after the epidemic, how do you call
COVID.
it? The COVID, yeah. Which was, I think, in every country in the world, but also in Hungary, I say a coin with two sides. Because on one side, of course, it has dramatically accelerated the improvement of e-commerce and online purchases and digitalization and everything. But on the other side, and not so much people are talking about it, it had also the side effect that, I mean, at least by us in Hungary, everybody thought, wow, e-commerce business is running. I just open up an e-commerce store and I will be rich. And I don't have to do anything, just sitting on the beach with my laptop, just make 3 clicks and tons of money is flowing to me. Yeah, really, I think in the mind of a lot of people was playing like this because, and I can even prove it with data and numbers, sorry, in Hungary, we had even exact measured statistics about it. In these couple of years, from every 10 new established e-commerce stores, have only 2 survived the first birthday. 8 out of 10 have just went bankruptcy in the first year. Can you imagine it? In the first 12 months. And what was the reason for that? Of course, the lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because they had, it was how do you say it? A shiny object syndrome?
FOMO.
Yeah. They have just started it, didn't know anything about it, and thought, okay, this business will running automatically. We know exactly it doesn't work like this. And that was exactly, I would say, the motivation, the trigger, the reason for that it was a joint party with OptiMonk and with myself. The CEO of OptiMonk and myself, we were the mentors of this program. And then we have made a big announcement for that we're going to start with this program. I remember exactly that, but more than 500 e-commerce stores have, of course, applied for the possibility, because for them it was everything free of charge, everything. We have asked them only one thing, then that in exchange for that we teach them, we help them, we support them. We would like to show everything to our listeners. I mean, to the audience, that they can learn from it, because that was the main purpose. That was the main goal of the whole project, that we can show them every data, very transparent. Yep. And then from different point of views, we have chosen 4 e-commerce stores, and we have mentored them. We have guided them 1 month, about 35 days. But as I have mentioned before, or you have mentioned it, everything in front of the camera. It was very important that we have also showed it if we have made failures. Of course, we have made failures. I always say that in digital marketing, the holy grail just doesn't exist. It doesn't work like this, that you take the magic pill and everything will work and the revenue is coming and visitors is coming. No, it's unfortunate. It would be nice, but it doesn't work like this, which works permanently experiencing, measuring, making data-driven decisions, and based on that data, based on that results, draw conclusions and move on and optimize the next phase. It's called the PDCA cycle: plan, do, check, act. Based on that, can you work with digital marketing? And as I have mentioned before, by all the 4 attendees, we have achieved a 2 digits uplift in revenue. We have measured revenue because this is the most important KPI, of course. At the end of the day, how much money did you make? Let's be honest.
Yep.
And the best result was 67%, which I think it's quite good.
And I do want to touch in on a point there that you mentioned, that because Canada did this too, and drop shipping was big here. Everybody was getting into drop shipping. Do you think that came out of the TikTok craze, where everybody was just saying, hey, you could do this easily? And those were the guys making money off the videos being like, hey, here's how you do it. People just jumped into it?
Yes, I think it was, and maybe it's partly still a kind of hype, because it makes also seem the whole process very simple. You don't even have to touch the product. You just order it from China, dropshipping, they're gonna just deliver it to your customers. You don't have to do anything with the business part. Money is just coming. But let's be honest, I don't know how are the trends in Canada, but by us in Europe, these were the first e-commerce stores who were just, how do you say it? Just swiped away from Temu. Because Temu makes it the same, but directly from their own factories in China. They deliver very fast. They have unlimited budget for marketing campaigns. And let's be honest, if you sell the same product, what is in Temu for even lower price, why should the people buy from you?
Yeah.
Right. What are your USPs?
The fun part that I found out about, so Temu's business model is actually pretty smart. So they lose money like crazy. But the goal of Temu isn't to make money, it's to maximize factory output. So the way Temu works is there's factories all over China, and if there's a tool or if there's a section of a factory that's not operating, they will go create something, because making something for something is still better than having part of their entire factory not working. So it's actually kind of cool that they do that. So they
are genius. We have to admit they are genius, because as you have also mentioned, they are thinking in customer lifetime value.
Yep.
And as I know, I have read it, I'm not sure that it's fact, but I have read it, that for the first 2 or 3 products, they just lose. Yep. And after you have purchased the 4th product by them, then they are at 0 level. And after that, they are starting generating extra revenue, profit on you.
That's the other side to it, is they sell your data like crazy. So the more you buy, the more data they have to sell on you. Do you worry that people are going to start taking advantage of people's data more than they already are?
It's also, I think, a coin with 2 parts, because as you know, by us in Europe, the GDPR regulation is very strict.
Yeah.
which could be actually lead to two targets, 2 points. First, of course, we are maybe a little bit more protected. We can say, okay, I'm more safety. But on the other part, don't forget, if there are not enough data about you, which can be used from the algorithm, how could they deliver to you a personalized experience? Because they don't know anything about you. And I have also read a case study about it, and I think it's very important to consider it, that approximately 65% of online visitors nowadays expect a personalized experience during browsing on a website or especially purchasing a product in an e-commerce store. So you have to show something about you. You have to deliver some data. Otherwise, how could you expect that you get a personalized experience? It just doesn't work.
I didn't think about it that way. I just wish we could do something like what I think Norway did, where we could make the personalized data our own. Would be nice, at the very least. I feel like data plays a. What's something we haven't talked about that we should get into?
I think the importance of conversion rate optimization.
Okay.
Because I would say that it's a kind of undervalued part of digital marketing, because everybody is talking about SEO, or now with the help of AI, the AAO, or I don't know how they call it. They have different names. And of course, running meta ads and Google ads to get traffic. And of course, email marketing, very important, list building. But I don't hear so often talking about conversion rate optimization, which I think from a special level, it's also a must-have for all the businesses and for all the e-commerce stores, because it could be also a huge leverage tool for you, which means what do you do with your existing traffic without spending more money on digital marketing in generally, or without spending more on ads or increasing your traffic? Because if you do the math, you can just count it very easy that it can make a huge impact and a huge difference if, for example, your e-commerce conversion rate is just 1% or 2%. From the same traffic, you can double your revenue. And it could be definitely a game changer if you are running, for example, an online business or an e-commerce store, because it means that you don't have to spend more, but you can definitely increase your revenue. And as I see a lot of entrepreneurs or e-commerce store owners, they are not really thinking about it. They just think, okay, CRO, one day I'm going to deal with it. But if they think about it seriously, they're going to see the huge opportunities regarding this.
Does that go to the concept of 1,000 true followers over 100,000 followers?
Yeah, a kind of. I think that, as I have mentioned before, some e-commerce store owners or entrepreneurs don't even think about it, that let's say the industrial average as an e-commerce conversion rate is now between 2 and 3%. What does it mean? That from 100 visitors, 97, 98 just come and leave without purchasing. So if you don't even try to get them back to your store, or for example, to increase this conversion rate, this is a tons of money what you leave on the table. This is a low-hanging fruit. And regarding back to your questions, I think it's also very important to know your most important KPIs. As I always say, and as I have also said before as a digital marketing agency owner to our clients, that nobody has ever earned money from that somebody was just browsing their website or their e-commerce store. I mean, clicks are nice, visiting are nice, everything is nice. But without doing anything, at least signing up for the newsletters, filling in a form, or as a micro conversion goals, or as a macro conversion goal, of course, purchasing, the business is not running.
Very, very fair. I didn't, personalizing the experience is something. The one thing I do not like and I don't know if this goes into conversion rate optimization. I don't like it when somebody's like, you have an item that you were looking at. Like I get like 17 emails saying you had an item in your cart that you were looking at. Do you want to come? Those annoy me.
But it means that actually it's, if you get it 70 times, as you have mentioned, or just even 7 times, it's too much.
Yeah.
Because this is actually the smart part on it, that nowadays you can adjust it very, I would say, user-friendly way. It's the same with pop-ups. Just very simple example. I know that a lot of people hate pop-ups, but I always tell them, let's be honest, pop-up is just a tool. It's not good and it's not bad. It's like the knife. Is the knife bad or good? Well, it depends on. I can kill somebody with it, or I can even rescue a life from somebody with a knife. And it's the same with a pop-up tool. It depends on who is using it and how is using it. I can just set it up and it's really annoying. Every 1 minute is something popping up. Hey, 10% discount, come here, visit it, sign up to our newsletter. Terrible, really. Or you can even make the adjustments in your pop-ups that you think like on a customer journey. You make the whole campaign setups accordingly to this concept. And in that case, and there are tons of case studies about it as well, you even help navigating the visitors on the website or the e-commerce stores. You increase the customer experience. And of course, higher relevance equals always higher conversion rates. So at the end of the day, with the help of that, you can of course also increase the revenue and the conversion rates.
There was a conversation I had the other day about, Google has a patent to basically rebuild your website, which is fun. So instead of, when you Google something, instead of it going to linking it to your website, they're now just going to generate your website within the Google frame. Do you see that as problematic in the future?
Well, it happened already, as we know, that since last year, I think in September or October, when they have launched this AI overview at the top of the Google listings, that by a lot of websites and e-commerce stores have the organic traffic just dropped, but dramatically. So regarding this, yes, it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's a challenge. We have to act properly to accommodate to these new conditions.
I turned my website into basically an MCP server. So essentially, if any LLM calls it, it now acts as an MCP and brings in what's needed. It's great. And to the audience, one thing you can do to find out if your website or flows are working correctly, Claude Cowork now runs a website. Have it go through your website and see how well it. Just ask it to run through as a basic user and tell you how well it brings the user in, that kind of thing. Those details. AI is so helpful at figuring out.
Analyze this report.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I do want to get into your hope marketing. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, we have already touched this topic partly. So as I see, to my experience, as I have mentioned before, I had tons of online meetings and also personal meetings with entrepreneurs, business owners, e-commerce store owners. And as I see, there are 2 big groups of them. And the one group, there are people, entrepreneur, business owners who have hope marketing. I call it hope marketing, which means that they do some things in digital marketing absolutely spontaneously because it was suggested from my friend, it was suggested from my spouse, from my neighbors, from my mom, whoever. And as they don't really measure the effect of these instructions or these workflows, they don't really know if it's worse or not, but they always hope that it will bring some results. This is called hope marketing. And the other group, unfortunately, at the moment, as I see the smaller group, this is how I call the strategy, the group of strategists, which means that I have clarified goals, metrics, KPIs. I know exactly how I would like to achieve them, what I would like to do. I have a strategy. Based on that, there are some tasks, workflows, work progresses, which I implement. I measure everything because what we don't measure, we can't improve. We know it exactly. We do this PDCA cycle, but I have mentioned before. And now I know exactly what is working. I can stop it. And what is not working, I can stop it. And what is working, I can start to scale it. Mm-hmm. This is the strategic mindset, I think. And this is, I think it's quite obvious, this is the future, because the other group will not so long survive.
Yes. The people I think seeing surviving through all of this is the altruists. I think the people who build extra functionality just for the sake of it or to help one random user out is going to be more profitable in the end than these conglomerates that just do their basic jobs. What do you hope for the future of business?
So first of all, what I would like to mention, because you have mentioned it as well, and I really liked it, I'm also pretty sure about that human connections will remain and will be always very important. I had it also from my own experience. Last week, I was on a 2-day event in Netherlands on a big e-commerce summit. Mm-hmm. And I have enjoyed it as well because I have usually online meetings and emails and whatever and Slack and all the online platforms. I have enjoyed it as well. But as I have seen, it was also very impressive to me to see that also all the participants, attendees have enjoyed it. And I had so much nice conversations. I had so much nice new contacts I have done in the last 3 weeks online. But now in 2 days offline, I don't know, more than 70 people as new contacts and new business opportunities. So I have really seen it. I have really felt it, that all the people, all the attendees were just enjoying it. So I think it will be more and more important for everybody. So this is number one. Number two, back to our topics regarding AI. I also see that it will be rather an advantage. It will make possible for us that be so much efficient that it won't be necessary to do all the manual tasks, which we are doing now with human forces. And it means for us as humankind that I think our life will be easier, let's say in 10 or in 20 years. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of works which is now done by humans can be done by AI and robots, of course, AI-driven robots in the future.
Yeah, and I just watched the interview with Sean Ryan with the Figure CEO. In the next 2 years, they will be in people's homes. Wow. So yeah, you're amazing. Talking your laundry, your dishes, your cleaning, everything. That'll give you so much time.
Which you can spend with your family, for example, instead of doing the homework.
Yes. And I think that's going to help a lot of people see the future for what it's going to be. And I think hope is the one thing I think the world's missing right now. And I see so much of it coming. And
positive mindset.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions. Is there anything we haven't touched on that we should talk about?
Not really. I think we have covered all the topics which could be important for that part so far.
Sounds good. So I will just leave it off for you to plug who you are, where you're at, where people can reach you, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So just visit our website, OptiMonk.com. If you would like to try out our AI-powered CRO tool, you can sign up for a forever free plan just to test it, just to play around it. And if you would like to reach out to me personally, just find me on LinkedIn. Maybe my LinkedIn profile, just put it here below the podcast episode, and I'm happy to connect with you. I like human connections. I'm always open for a nice conversation.
And just to touch on that, I think tech people are now understanding how much people connect and are getting towards it. I think the people who really embrace AI are now understanding how important the human connection is, and I think we'll see more of that in the future. Yeah. And yes, I'll make sure everything's down in the description below. And to everybody out there, if you need anything, please like, comment, share, subscribe, everything I'm supposed to say. And thank you for joining us. And to everybody out there, stay weird.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.